Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are for Inspire Synergy with the man himself from the House of Changes, Razul Wallace. Razul, hello.
Steve.
And a very special guest, an accomplished author. She has her website. It's RebeccaPhillps.com. I believe. Did I get it right? Yeah.
Rebecca Wells Phillps.
Wells, I keep forgetting. Yeah, that's the second time I screwed it up. Rebecca Wells Phillps. And Boo Bradley, is that the other pen name?
Boo Black, because I hated being black. So it's like, boo, black, yeah, I'm black.
Okay, so I'm 0 for 2. But I did it right in the post. But Rebecca is joining us as well. She was on Broker Than You yesterday, and she was with us with Razul and sharing some of her experiences. It was really powerful yesterday. The guys really enjoyed having you on. So thank you for doing it. And
thank you for having me.
Razul is been in the House of Changes now for a full year. He's had men in and out, and he's got almost the full house now. And he deals with a lot of issues with the guys that they've had, with PTSD and mental health issues. But I wanted you to share a little bit about your story, because you grew up in Tennessee and what you had to deal with your family and how everything kind of started. And then you began writing.
Right. All right. Well, I grew up in a predominantly white town in East Tennessee. I don't usually say exactly where because I don't want to shame them. And so we were the only black family in the town. And my parents were in politics, and my middle name was the N word. So every day starting in elementary school, the N word was just who I was. And so I tried to fight for myself all the way through fifth grade. But every time I'd get in trouble, I'd get paddled by the principal, and then I'd go home and get belted by my father.
Oh man.
So I had to learn to stop standing up for myself, and I just had to swallow the anger, the sadness, and I turned that into self-hate. And I wanted to disappear. I wanted to die. And so I have tried before. I've dealt with a lot of depression, suicidal ideation, anxiety. And so I wrote the book Hating Self by Boo Black to show others that all the burdens that we carry and the depression that we go through is to help someone else. And so in that book, there are lessons. There's like 13 lessons of the things that happen. Like I share experiences, but then I say from those experiences, I learned this about me. And most importantly, I learned to value myself from myself versus other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, Razul, I thought like it would be important for you to hear this from her, because maybe it could be something she could share with the men in the house who are dealing with similar issues that she has obviously done and gone through. I thought it would be productive. And your first book was mainly like kind of biographical, correct?
Yes, it's autobiographical, like a memoir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And was that like a major part of your healing journey? Is that kind of when it started? Because I know you wrote it 10 years before you published it. So
Right.
that's why I was curious.
Yeah, it's like a diary. It's written in like diary form, I guess. And I had no intention of ever publishing it. It was just something I was
Right.
going to give to my family so that my child, my grandchildren, my husband at the time would understand me and why I am the way I am. And so after my mom passed, I decided I needed to share it with the world and turn my pain into purpose and let people know that they're not alone.
Right, exactly. And I mean, Razul, I mean, she was telling this yesterday, and my jaw dropped. Like getting the, your middle name's the N word. You're getting called that all the time. I mean, you were in Long Island. Did you experience similar treatment?
So it's funny because actually her story was definitely resonating with me, and I think being in the North, there was a little less, or significantly more subtle, less extreme than that. But when I was 9, we moved to Hicksville, Long Island, and at that time I had a little. My sister's like 2 years younger than me, and the school we went to, we were the only black kids in the school also. So when you were talking, it resonated with me. But also, I think the experience is a little bit different for black girls and black boys, especially as a black boy if you're an athlete, because you kind of.
Oh, she said that too. Yes.
If you're an athlete, you're kind of given a pass, I guess, and like you're actually kind of looked upon as more favorably, whereas especially young black women, and both of my sisters are beautiful, and they've grown out of a lot of the issues, and they're more aware of the way the childhood has impacted them, but it definitely had a significant, and they're beautiful women, but it produced a certain amount of insecurities and challenges that kind of still reflect in their relationships today.
Yeah, because you mentioned that, Rebecca, that because the expectations were always you were going to be athletes, and you were into books, you were into reading, you were into educating yourself, and that was different, and that's why it kind of cast you out, right?
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, that's what I find.
And
you said that's different, yeah.
And not only that, and my guess is, I feel like our parents usually do their best. They try the best with what they got. They learn how to parent from their parents, but to be ostracized by society and then double down on going home, that's rough.
Yeah. It's because her parents, were in a political world. So if she was with someone in school and had an issue, you didn't know who that person was. If it was someone who was a supporter or whatever, So that's why I think my opinion, could have doubled down on it and made it worse, because they were concerned about their political career,
Right.
and instead of, the trauma that their daughter's going through.
Right. The societal standings, or things
Yeah.
of that nature.
Yeah, it just blew me away. And I mean, it's something I'll never be able to understand, but I was just shocked by it.
Can I ask how it
Yeah.
how is it like? How's your relationship with your parents now?
My mother died about, I said 4.5. I think it's been 5 years now. It was December 14th of
2021, right?
21, I think. Yeah, it's 2021. Yeah. And my
That's
father's still alive, and he still lives in that town, but he doesn't read my books. He did read my Hurricane Helene book, but he technically refused, I think, to read my Hating Self book because he knew what it was about, because my parents never felt the same about the city as I did. So I was very close to my mother, looked just like her. And so now that she's gone, I really don't have a lot to do with my dad. I'll call him and check on him, but it's almost like he doesn't really support my writing or anything.
Damn.
It's almost like I don't have parents now. My mom's dead. So,
Damn.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Thank you.
What would you say is one misconception people have about trauma survivors that you wish they could, you could correct?
Oh, that's a very good question. There's just so many
someone
things.
else asked it. It wasn't me.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's
You got
just
a lot
like
of questions yesterday.
I always focus on the suicidal ideation, and people always feel like, you've got parents that love you, you've got friends, you've got this, you've got that. But it's like they don't understand that it's whatever's within you and it's up here. So no matter what good there is in life, I always remember my childhood trauma. I will never forget the N word. And I used to be called fat and ugly and all these things. And so even though I have people tell me you're beautiful and I want a beauty pageant and everything, I still feel like that ugly N word. And it's like people don't understand that drugs can't get it out of you. I've been through counseling and it's helped, but trauma remains. It remains.
And it's a lifelong journey. I mean, to deal with it and treat it and go through it. It's not like, oh, take a pill and this will get you through it. It's always there.
Yep.
And you never know when it's going to come out, right? It can come out. Something can trigger you, right? And anything can come out from it.
Well, it comes out. I feel like it comes out constantly in just the way you perceive everything. The way it shapes the way you see the world, and the way that the lens through which you see the world is kind of impacted or affected by that. It's crazy. It really is. Crazy.
It is, yeah. That's what, like I said, we got such a good response yesterday from her story, and a lot of people responded and asked questions. How would you say that you balanced telling the truth while, with protecting your own emotional well-being? Because when you're writing, you're reliving a lot of that trauma. So you're telling the truth, but you still have to protect yourself from it.
I did not protect myself. I gave everything. I let it go. And once I got it on paper and got it published, hit that publish button on Amazon, I was like, well, that's gone. I mean, like, it's really gone. Like, I really felt freedom. I felt
it was cathartic. Yeah,
it was very cathartic. And it's like I remember theyese things, but they're not as heavy on me as they were. And now I can see that those things I went through were to make me stronger and to help others. So I focus on that, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. It makes a lot of sense. And I can't imagine that it was easy. And I could not imagine going through that process. When you were doing, the first book, what would you say the hardest chapter was to write, and what do you think made it so challenging?
Oh my goodness. I guess just when I won a beauty pageant, right? And it was at my school, a high school. And I was one of 8 blacks in a school of 1,200 students.
Jesus.
And my graduating class was like 370 students, and I was in the top 10% of those students. And 2 of us were black out of the 370. And so I was constantly overachieving, doing whatever I could to lift myself up and to look and feel like I was like other people. And so I remember when I constantly watched my grades, and I was constantly going to the what do you call it, the counselor, and asking, where's my rank? What's my rank? Because I was it was so important for me to be in the top 10%, right?
Yeah.
And so all my friends were nerds. I was always hanging out with the nerdy kids. And so they were the ones that were high achieving and everything. And so I'd say to them, I'm in the top 10%. I'm in the top 10%. I should get an invite to the Beta Club, and get to wear the little sash thing and all that. I was so excited. And so the principal had a pep rally, and they recognized everyone that was in the top 10%. And so they called everybody down. Of course, I'm sitting with the nerds, us smart people, right? And they called everyone's name except for mine. Which made me I was confused. Like, did I drop in my rank? I mean, what? And so all my friends came back from getting recognized and clapped, and everybody stood, woo! And he got back up there, and I'm like, I don't understand why I didn't get called down. And they're like, well, I guess you're not in the top 10%. So I went home. I was very upset. I told my mom, I said, I don't know what's going on, but I need you to call school and see what happened, because I should have been in the top 10% and recognized. And so she called and talked to the principal, and they said they accidentally left me off the list.
Right. This is an accident. Yeah.
And they never did anything after that. Like, they never said,
they never made
over
it
the
up
intercom. They never made it up to me. They're like, oh, we're real sorry. And so, I mean, that was like 4 years of me busting my butt to be in the top 10%. And when I graduated, I finally got the invite. After my mom called, I got the invite to Beta Club and all that. And I got the little yellow sash and all that. Right. But it was like, y'all held me down. Like, you pushed me down. Like, I couldn't even be recognized as an intelligent student. So that broke my heart. I will never forget that happened.
Razul, I mean, that's you see guys like that at the house. I mean, that has such an impact on your self-esteem and your self-worth. And something like that is really difficult to come back from, right? To recover from.
It's man.
So that happened all the time. That wasn't the only time. Whenever I won the beauty pageant, it was there at the high school, and I was a sophomore, and I had a girlfriend that she was a career beauty pageant person, right? So she'd started as a baby. And so she's like, hey, why don't you be in the beauty pageant with me? It's in like 3 months. And I said, girl, I can't even walk in high heels. What are you talking about? And she's like, you don't have to wear high heels. I'll show you. She said, I'll work with you. I'll train you. And I'm like, okay. So for 3 months, this girl who was 2 years younger than me trained me. And I went, and I was in that beauty pageant with all the cheerleaders, all the, popular people and all that, all the beautiful, blondes and all that, and me, the one black girl. And I want you to know, I freaking won that contest. I won the pageant. And so the next day, I found out from everybody that they were saying that the only reason why I won was because my dad was mayor in the town that I lived in. And it took away those 3 months of me working so hard, because I could wear one of those hoops. Y'all remember those hoops that used to wear to proms and stuff? I could walk and that sucker wouldn't move. That's how graceful I walked.
You were working. You put the time in.
Yeah, they took that away from me too. It goes on and on and on and on. Every year I could just come up with a story, and I shouldn't remember this, right? I shouldn't.
No.
Insignificant. I mean, it really is insignificant when you think about life.
And then they minimize it. Like, oh, her dad is a black man was mayor. It's not a racist town. I bet you got that.
Yes.
I bet you got that.
Yes.
I didn't even think of that. You're right. So the most recent book that you wrote, which was, I mean, everything that you write, I think is powerful and compelling. But you wrote a book on Razul. I don't know if you heard about this. I absolutely didn't because I'm oblivious to the world. But Hurricane Helene, it hit 7 states down south, and
When
she's
was that?
September 24th.
yeah,
No, I was saying September 27th. It actually hit the land September 24th in Big Bend, Florida. Came up to us in North Carolina September 27th of 2024.
right, and she's in North Carolina, and they were kind of, I don't know if they were told misinformation or just no information, but they're just like, you guys will be fine. The mountains will protect you. You don't need to do anything. Meanwhile, it hit and it caused significant damage. She said there were trees everywhere, water everywhere. Nobody could get out. There's people with chainsaws trying to cut through it. And it was just, again, another traumatic experience. And she went and interviewed people who went through this. And also, she has a regular job. I mean, this is what she does on the side that really is her passion. She works in the medical field, but she's been publishing books since 2023. I got that right. But this book, like, she really put a lot into. So that's why I was talking about it. And someone had asked, how did you decide what to include and what to leave out?
So it hit and affected 7 states. I started researching just the facts, and there was just too much. So I was going to do just North Carolina, South Carolina. And then I was like, okay, we're going to do Western North Carolina. And so that was the first thing. I had to decide exactly the territory. Then I knew that there was always a risk of getting lawsuits and getting sued if you gave people's actual names of the dead. I would had to have written every family to ask for their permission to actually publish the person's name in the book. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. But I did do this person died of, strangulation, asphyxiation, broken neck, things like that. But I didn't use any names so that I didn't get into legal trouble.
Yeah, you had to protect yourself.
And then I originally planned the book to be completely factual, just a timeline, maybe some pictures, but mainly just this is what happened. These are facts, right? And so then after I was about 3/4 of the way done with the book, I started having so many people tell me their stories. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to start adding in people's personal stories. So that wasn't originally planned to do. And so then I would use my little recorder, and I would either do a Zoom with my little recorder, I'd go face to face, or I'd let them do it through email because it was very difficult, for a very long time with no, internet and this and everything else. So then I included 15 interviews in the book, kind of like at the last minute. So that's how that went down.
Right. And I can't imagine, I mean, just having to deal with that and realizing the other people that affected and going and including them, I think was huge. I'm going to play a quick message from our sponsors. Down south, we have Julius Williams and the Trench Mob. They're located in Decatur, Georgia. Julius and his team train offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps across the country. They are the best of the best when it comes to training and developing linemen. Julius has sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Tennessee, Clemson, Georgia, and Alabama, just to name a few. If you want your kid to go Division I football, they got to work with the Trench Mob. They have a virtual program as well, and you can come to any tournament you want. To join the Trench Mob, go to their website, www.trenchmobfootball.com. Ned Von Young owns Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's a high-end laundry service. You book online, you put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, fold it for you in lightning speed records, and it can be done in 48 hours. They are now offering a drop-off service as well, so you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home. They have an online subscription model as well, weekly or bi-weekly. So everything's done there. You book online, they pick it up, wash, dry, fold it for you, and then you can subscribe weekly or bi-weekly to their service and have it done there. They also have deals for college students. There's many colleges in the Chapel Hill area. You can get a deal, the same thing, and have your laundry all done for you without leaving the comfort of your dorm room. All you have to do is go to their website, myfreshfold-laundry.com. All right, and we are back. Razul Wallace, Rebecca Wells Phillps. So we also had a question from Fresh Nedvan from yesterday. He wanted to know, what's one lesson that you learned about yourself while writing that you didn't expect? You can choose any of the books that you've written recently.
Right. I learned that I have a gift, and that gift of gab. And so I've always known that complete strangers would talk to me in the bathroom or at restaurants and things like that. But I had no idea that when it came to trauma, like Hurricane Helene and such, that people were more than willing to tell me their stories. And I don't think that's a normal thing. I don't think people will just talk to anybody. And so I think that God gave me the ability to connect with people. And so I did not realize it until I started writing Hurricane Helene.
Right. And Razul, can you believe that about Hurricane Helene? 7 states, the meteorologists are pretty much clueless, and they just tell them, "Oh, you're in the mountains, you'll be fine." And she told a story where she couldn't get in contact with her girlfriend because everything was down, and they were both worried about each other. They didn't even know if they were alive. And I can't even imagine what something like that feels like. And how were you end up able to connect with her?
3 days later,
It was 3 days.
the water receded, and I was able to drive in because all the country boys and also this group of guys called the Chainsaw Brothers were going around for free and cutting trees off roads and off people's houses, save people out of their houses, things like that. And so they made a way for all of us to be able to drive around. And so I arrived 3 days later, and hallelujah, she and her camper and her 2 dogs were alive and well.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Exactly. Razul, how is everything going with the house? Because you were able to get some new people in and get it close to full. Is everything going smoothly?
Yeah, surprisingly well. I was worried about at capacity there being, with more people and more bodies, there being more stress.
Right.
In the house, but luckily, I think it's the guys that came in are really positive guys.
Yeah.
And when I was there on Sunday, and they were having a house dinner because some of the new guys decided to cook for everybody, and it was nice. It was really homey. So I think we lucked out.
That's great.
That was real nice. It seems to, and then there's a house group chat that Marcus has set up, and I'm in it. And then they're talking about making dinner again another night, and it seems pretty nice. The energy is good. So I'm happy and excited about that. We got funding. We got funding for our first program.
Oh, you did? It went through.
Yep. Project Global City Norwich is a nonprofit that was started by Norwich Community Development Corporation, and they had a grant, Project Peace Grant, and they, we put in for a program that we were doing, and then we got approved for the funding. So we're going to be doing this program called the MORE Experience. Stands for Men Operating Responsibly in Emotion.
Right.
And essentially, there's going to be 4 pillars: mental, emotional health and well-being, spiritual, physical, and financial health and well-being. And it'll be over the course of 20 weeks, 10 sessions every other Wednesday, and then we'll have an orientation, and then one leader in each pillar will have 2 sessions with the guys.
Right.
Alternating weeks, they'll have like office hours and then like weekly check-ins. But the biggest goal at the end of it, a measurable goal, is for each of the guys to have created one new habit in each of the different pillars.
Right.
That can kind of help them to build, their life and the way they want to go. So
that's awesome that you got that, and
yeah.
It's good to hear that the guys in the house are spending time together and getting along. That was the one thing that was different with the experience I had. We always hung out together, did stuff together,
Oh, really?
went out together. Yeah. I mean, we go bowling all the time. I ended up watching Power, and the guys love Power, so I got into Power. Yeah, I ended up loving it. Yes, and now I watch all the spinoffs. It was funny. So I'm watching it, and and then I'm seeing some gratuitous sex. I'm like, okay, so there's drugs. He's got a family, and they're just having sex all the time. It must be pretty easy to write. I mean,
hey Razul, how many guys are in your house?
We have 7 right now, and a house manager. Marcus is our house manager. He's from Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he is
phenomenal too. He's been great.
So that'd be 7 plus 8 plus you would be 9.
Well, he doesn't live in the house, but he's got one more.
But you're still a part of it. You're
part of it.
Yeah. He owns it. Yes.
So if I donated like 9 or 10 copies of Hating Self and had them delivered to y'all, would you give them out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God,
okay.
they would love that.
I don't know if one of y'all can email Rebecca Wells Phillps at gmail.com. Give me an address. I will order it through probably Amazon, because that's who I first put it through, and just have it delivered directly to the address.
I appreciate that.
That is extremely generous, and I think that is something that the guys in the house will appreciate, because it's a great story. What do you hope your story does for someone who feels alone in their struggle?
Make them realize they are not alone. No matter how much you feel it, it is a lie. It is a lie that Satan tells you, and it's not the truth.
And Razul, I mean, I think that's very true, and that's what I was saying about when guys initially come to the house, they're at their lowest point, and they have to be built back up. So you got guys now that are in a different space. They're positive. They feel better about themselves. Would you say their self-esteem has improved and their outlook?
They're very, all of them are very different,
Sure.
But they've only been in, like, the newer guys have been in, like, a month or 2,
Yeah.
So as far as like change goes, I don't know. I think it's hard to kind of measure change in that time frame. But I think you notice how everybody interacts with each other. That's more
exactly, yes.
With the implementation of new people, and how that kind of adjusts the house dynamics a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's the most noticeable thing.
And that's great, because that's changed in a positive direction.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I think is huge.
You got one guy who is like a sour apple. One guy.
Well, that you always get one. You get
Always
me.
one.
But that's good that they're coming in, they're interacting, and doing stuff together, and it's a good vibe. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, they're coming in at their lowest point. So the fact that they're opening up and they're building relationships with the other guys, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
So
no, it is.
Marcus is and you guys are doing a phenomenal job there. So
thanks, man. Yeah, it's when I talk to him, because like I can feel like the energy exchange, because he's like highly irritable, like he's quick to like yell and snap.
Marcus?
No, not
the sour apple.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it's funny because I could feel how he kind of triggers my traumas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
really?
Oh yeah. So like one of the habits that I'm working on and getting better with is when I get like that, like not responding, just like sitting with it, like recognizing it, and kind of like breathing.
Right. Like Lieutenant Kevin Dillon taught you.
Yeah. Exactly. Like KD
the
taught us.
De-escalation.
Yep. And two things. It makes you recognize, the work that you have to do still, and that you come a long way. But then also what I've become a lot more aware of is that individual is like that because of they experience that throughout their life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that makes them like that. So I think it enables you to give a little bit more grace.
Yeah, it's not personal towards you. It's just how they are, right? Yeah.
But it's still,
No, I get it. I mean, it's tough to deal with, and it can be frustrating, and it's very diplomatic of you to hold your tongue. So credit for you for changing on that. So Rebecca, just several people asked, two questions. I'll give you two last questions. How do you feel now after sharing your book publicly?
Mm-hmm.
And now you have publicity. Sharing your story publicly, has it changed your life?
I mean, I'm not wealthy. I'm not. Well, no, I'm still trying to
understand that. We're gonna work on that.
But I feel great. I feel confident. I feel like everything I was told as a child was a complete fallacy, complete lie. I finally realized that I am someone, and that I am very important, and that, again, God put me here for a purpose, and I have greater things that I'm to do before I leave. So I feel like my body and my life is not my own. It was given to me, and I've got stuff to do.
And the last question, this came from Laban, wanted to know this from yesterday. What would be one lesson that you learned about yourself while writing throughout this process that maybe you didn't expect?
I am not a quitter. I've never really been a quitter, but writing a book and learning the lingo and the rules of writing and being completely clueless. I've had to Google everything. I am just surprised that I'm still doing it. Plus, I spent like $30,000 of my own money to make Hurricane Helene come to fruition. And the old Becky would have never done that. And I am suffering now because of it, but it had meaning. I had a reason for doing it. So I'm not a quitter.
Right.
I'm not a quitter.
No, I agree. No, and we're gonna get that back. So don't worry about it. We're gonna help you. Razul, thank you. And is there anything on the dock, anything coming up for the House of Changes? Anything you'd like to announce? I mean, you have one bed still available, right?
One bed that's still available. The
So
More
people can go.
Experience will start next Wednesday, February 11th.
Okay.
Run through June 17th or the 24th with the rain date. And I think that's it. I think we'll start planning for a fundraiser, but you know, it's a lot to do.
April, March, you think? Probably April, right?
Probably a little later. If we're starting in February.
Yeah.
That'd be in like May.
Yeah. Are you thinking still with doing something like the dinner like you did last time?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I like to eat.
Yeah.
I like to eat. I get excited.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was fun the last one.
It was a cool night.
Let me play our last guy and we'll get out of here. Finally, we have James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. For the last 3 years, James has dedicated himself to the art of financial services. He specializes in life insurance and insurance policies. He will save you money, make you a boatload of money, and do so tax-free. He also specializes in retirement planning because we know the stress that goes into thinking about retirement. How much am I going to need? For how long? Do we have enough? Because fear of the unknown is real. To contact James, go to www.lutherjamesinsurance.com. All right. So Rebecca, Razul took off. Do you have anything in the works right now as far as writing that you're working on?
Yes, I am working on Dragonfly Passion by Rachel Blue. That's another pen name, BLEU.
Yes, I saw that.
And that is the follow-up story of Butterfly Blossoms, which is an adult LGBTQ plus fiction. And then I'm hoping to get that out maybe around March. And then I am looking.
2 of them. That's right.
Yeah, I'm looking for people who would like to share their stories of abuse anonymously. It's called Lift Our Voice. Abuse survivors speak their truth. And so my goal is to get that out by hopefully like November 30th of this year.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you for coming on, and we'll have you on Broker Than You again next week, and we'll talk a little more business because we want to hear about your story on that end, and then with the writing as well. And you did phenomenal yesterday. Great response. Thank you again. And we put it in several Facebook groups and we got some good responses. So I hope it pays off. But thank you for coming on. We will be in touch soon. And Rebecca Wells Phillps, otherwise known as Boo Black, and Rachel Blue is her other pen names. I got it right that time. And her website, check it out. Her books are on Amazon. You can buy them there. And please check it out. And thank you. I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them back at life. And I'm Steve Cully. I'm running for Congress.